Today, I want to talk about something incredibly powerful but often overlooked: the importance of attitude. It's not just a small part of the equation, it's actually the foundation for everything you want to achieve. Let's start with a concept that's probably not taught enough in schools: visualization. Imagine if kids were given the chance to sit down before the school year even begins and handed a blank report card. The teacher would ask them to visualize the grades they want to achieve and write them down. Then they'd be told, just focus on how to get that mark. Don't think about why you can't. Concentrate on how you're going to do it. Some might argue that this isn't realistic, that it's just wishful thinking. But actually, it's the complete opposite. It's based on ancient success principles that have been around for thousands of years. This is how anything meaningful gets accomplished. Now, is that engaging in fantasy thinking? Absolutely not. In fact, fantasy is where all greatness begins. Think about it. When Thomas Edison first envisioned the light bulb, he was fantasizing. But he didn't stop there. He turned that fantasy into a theory, then into an image, and finally into a physical reality. Here's the thing. When we were kids, it was pure fantasy to think about going to the moon. Yet here we are, not only having walked on the moon, but driving around up there in lunar vehicles and even playing golf. What starts as fantasy can become reality if we commit to it. So what's the role of attitude in all this? Attitude is crucial. It shapes the way we think, the way we feel, and ultimately, the way we act. In fact, attitude is one of the hardest things to explain, yet one of the most important things to master. In my seminars, we often spend hours on this one subject because it's so complex and impactful. A winning attitude is essential in life, but most people struggle with it. Why? Because we tend to think it's something we can't control. It's easy to assume that our attitude is just a reaction to what's happening around us. But that's not true. Nobody can change your attitude for you. It's something you have to do on your own. But once you realize you can change it, it opens up endless possibilities. Imagine a company that spends 65% of its budget on wages and benefits, but knows more about its machines and products than it does about its people. How often do we see businesses investing in their employees' technical skills, but ignoring their attitudes? But the truth is, a company's greatest resource is its people, and their attitudes can make or break its success. So why not invest in teaching employees how to build a positive, winning attitude? This is where the law of polarity comes in. Everything in the universe has its opposite: right and left, up and down, hot and cold, positive and negative. You can choose to focus on the positive or the negative, but you can't focus on both at the same time. And this is something that requires training. It's not automatic for most people to seek out the good in every situation, but it's possible. There's good in everything. Even when your car breaks down on the way to work, it may not be obvious right away, but it's there. The key is to train your mind to look for it. This principle doesn't just apply to your personal life. It applies to your career, your relationships, your health, everything. When you're out of work, for example, you can choose to think, I'll never find a job. Or you can focus on, I will find one. That shift in thinking changes everything. When you focus on the solution, your mind begins to attract ideas that will help you find that job. This is the power of attitude in action. Now let's talk about the role of self-image in all of this. Our self-image is the mental picture we hold of ourselves, and it controls every aspect of our lives. If you have a poor self-image, you'll avoid opportunities, shy away from challenges, and settle for less than you're capable of achieving. Unfortunately, schools and society often reinforce a negative self-image in us from a young age. We're told what we're not good at, where we fall short, and how we don't measure up. But here's the good news: your self-image can be changed. In fact, a psychologist named Dr. Maxwell Maltz introduced this concept in 1960 after observing how people's personalities changed after undergoing plastic surgery. He realized that when people's outer appearance changed, their inner self-image often transformed too. But he also discovered that you don't need surgery to change your self-image. You can do it through visualization and positive thinking. So, how do you improve your self-image? First, you have to relax. Take time to let go of tension, and then start visualizing yourself the way you want to be. See yourself succeeding, achieving your goals, and living the life you desire. It might take some time to figure out exactly what that looks like, but that's okay. The important thing is to create a clear picture in your mind of the person you want to become. Next, write it down. Describe yourself in the present tense as if you've already achieved everything you want. I'm so happy now that I am confident, successful, and living the life I always dreamed of. Read this description every day, multiple times a day if you can. Carry it with you and keep it at the forefront of your mind. At first, it might feel like a lie, but over time, you'll start to believe it. And once you believe it, it will become your reality. The idea that we become what we think about is not new. In fact, it's one of the most universally accepted truths among all the great teachers and philosophers throughout history. Whether it's Buddha, Jesus, or modern self-help gurus, they all agree on this point. Our thoughts shape our reality. Now, you might be thinking this sounds too simple, but simplicity is the key to its power. The more you focus on your desired outcome, the more your subconscious mind will work to make it happen. And as William James, the father of modern psychology, said, believe, and your belief will create the fact. So, how do you start today? It begins with the awareness that you can control your thoughts. Most of us walk through life reacting to the world around us, letting external factors dictate how we feel and what we think. But that doesn't have to be the case. You can choose what thoughts to engage with and which to discard. The next time you hear bad news or face a negative situation, ask yourself, do I want to get emotionally involved in this? If the answer is no, then let it go. In closing, remember that your attitude determines your altitude. It shapes how you see the world, how the world sees you, and ultimately what you accomplish in life. When you control your attitude, you control your destiny. So start today. Visualize the life you want, write it down, and focus on becoming the person you were meant to be. Thanks for watching, and if you found value in this message, don't forget to subscribe to Galileo Key for more insights on how to unlock your potential. Let's keep the conversation going in the comments below. What's one area of your life where you think changing your attitude could make all the difference? See you in the next video.